Cheshire fan, your pal, Big D, back here again with a pickups video. I have not done one of these in such a long time. I really missed it. With the pandemic and with the money situation I got going on right now, I just haven't had the ability to really go out and do some hunting and really be able to do some damage. But, and I explained this to you on my weekly news that was out a couple days ago. This time, though, I've been sitting on a bunch of movies for over a year that I want to take to Rasputin. And I had an opportunity to go to Rasputin over the weekend. I was going to try to go before that, but they got some weird hours. They're open Thursday through Monday from 11 to 6:30, and they're closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, made it kind of interesting to try to get over there during that time. But I did go over. I took a huge box of movies. I got like $150 in credit, which I was like, woohoo! I was really stoked. So I did some damage. Every movie I got was used except for one. I did pay kind of a premium price, and I'll show you the one I got for this one. But I've had this movie in particular that I'll show you in a little while. I've had it on order with Amazon for 2 months. It came out almost 2 months ago. Amazon hadn't been able to get it. So I found it there and I picked it up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the movies I picked up. Keep in mind there's some prices that are still on these things. The cool thing about Rasputin is I actually didn't pay those prices because they have, if you're a member of their club, you get discounts for buying a certain amount of Blu-rays and DVDs, stuff like that. So I got a bunch of discounts. I really worked it's one thing I can do really well thanks to partly because of my wife who's shown me some really cool techniques. I learned to be able to work the system a little bit when it comes to discounts and to things that companies offer. So I worked out some deals here and got some cool things. So let's just get started. So, all right, the first movie I picked up was a lot of these movies. The funny thing, before I go through this, a lot of the funny thing about Rasputin was the last time I was in there was February of 2020. And when I was in there, their walls and their racks were overflowing. Literally, they had these big rolling bins that they had movies in the rolling bin because they didn't have any room to put the stuff out. So walking in there 16 months later, they were out of a lot of stuff. Their walls were a lot thinner. Their sections were a little bit thinner. I was kind of surprised. So I think that over the course of the thing, a lot of people must have bought up some stuff. Because I thought for sure there's going to be a lot more because there was a major Rasputin Records was in San Francisco and that closed. And that was 2-story. I mean, they had so much. I always wanted to go there, but I never got a chance to. But So I thought they'd have a lot more. They didn't. But the cool thing was I was able to find some stuff that I've kind of been like on the fence about lately. Wasn't really sure. And I actually found a couple things that actually one thing in particular I'll show you at the end was something I never thought I'd get at all. So without further ado, here we go. The first movie that we got here is The Loft. Great movie. I've seen this a long time ago. It has an all-star cast. I mean, you know, you've got he was in Prison Break. He was in Modern Family, Star Trek. You know, this guy's been in X-Men movies and everything else. So, I mean, it's a really all-star cast, a really fun movie. So, I got The Loft. Next, I'm a big Van Damme, sorry. I've been a big one since I first saw Bloodsport when I was a kid. So, any chance I can get a pickup of Van Damme movie, especially for pretty cheap, I'll get it. So, I got this one, Enemies Closer. Not bad. And then next, I picked up another Van Damme movie because this was the last one I needed in this series, which was Kickboxing Retaliation. Again, I didn't own this one and got the slipcover, so that's what I was really stoked about. So I grabbed that. Next, I always try to get a little something Star Trek in there just because. So in this situation, I did get Star Trek, the original series, Origins. So it has like the cage where Norman's gonna be for Space Seed, Aaron and Mercy, and the Trouble with Tribbles. So I like to pick up things. Do I own all these already? Yeah, but it's cool to have part of my collection. So I grabbed that. Next thing I grabbed, and this was for my wife. I do enjoy this too. I do really enjoy this show too. But my wife really loved this show, and it was a mini series called Con Man with Alan Tudyk. I can never say his last name right. Obviously, you'll remember him from Firefly, and currently he's on Resident Alien, which is a TV show that's currently on right now, which is really good. But this is about a guy who goes to like a Comic-Con. You know, he's in a certain movie, and it's all the exploits that he has. It's got a lot of famous people in here. It doesn't say I'm on here, but there's a lot of famous people that pop up. I know that a couple people from Firefly pop up, like Nathan Fillion and stuff. So it's a really fun movie, really fun limited series TV show. So I grabbed that. Next thing I grabbed was something that I had read about a while ago, done by Eli Roth. Well, it presents anyways. It's called The Stranger. So looking forward to watching that. I read synopsis about it a while ago and was stoked to find it because I haven't seen it in any stores before. This one is a movie that I, believe it or not, I still have on VHS. I never even upgraded to the DVD. I still have it on VHS. I don't know why, because I really like this movie, but I just never got around to getting the DVD. Well, and then the Blu-ray came out, and I kept forgetting about it. But sure enough, Black Rain. Michael Douglas. This is a really, really good crime drama movie. And it's been years since I watched it, but I saw this and I was like, okay, fine, we need to grab this one now. So I grabbed that. Next we have here is a Vietnam movie that I always really enjoyed when I was a kid. Starred Don Cheadle and Dylan McDermott, and then it's Hamburger Hell. Another good Vietnam movie. A little bit slower than Platoon. It's a little bit drier than like Platoon and some of the other movies that are about Vietnam, but I still really like it. It still holds a special place. I remember watching this with my dad. So Hamburger Hill. This one, out of all the movies you've seen so far, it's going to be like, what, huh? But I had the first one. I did not have the second one. So Dolphin Tail 2. I actually like these movies. These movies are fun. They're great little family flicks. So I had the first one. I did not have the second one. So there we go. I now have them both. So I got that. And I got the slipcover. That's probably one of the biggest things. Is they had about 4 copies of their used, but that was the one with the slipcover. So this next one is a really cheesy movie that I watched with my wife, and we actually got a really good kick out of it. So if I get a good enough kick out of it, I know I can watch it again. So it's a movie called Jexy. Pretty funny movie about this guy who basically ends up being led around by his phone. And his phone tries to help him get a girlfriend, but the phone gets jealous because he's not spending as much time with the phone. It's actually really funny. There's a scene where he's supposed to turn left on the street, and he's so scared to do it, and the phone's like, you should do it, chicken. It's pretty funny. So grab this. And obviously, he was Adam Devine was pretty funny. I'm a hit or miss with Adam Devine. There's some stuff like I've been recently going through and rewatching Modern Family lately at night before I go to bed, and he's been in a few episodes. He can get on my nerves. He can't. So or sometimes he won't. So, but I actually really enjoyed him in this. So Jexy. The next thing I picked up, I have no idea about this, but I love Malcolm McDowell, and I'm a big fan of D. Wallace, too. Obviously, it used to be D. Wallace, though, now D. Wallace, but called Pound of Flesh. I don't know, but it looked interesting, so I'm in. I grabbed that. It was still sealed, too. Next, I grabbed this, and I read about this because it stars CM Punk from wrestling fame, and it's called Girl on the Third Floor. Now, my understanding is what I've read about this is CM Punk's performance is okay, but the film itself is actually a really decent film, so I'm going to go for it. I was a big fan of CM Punk back in the day when I watched wrestling. So, I'll grab it, check it out. This next one, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on, and it was only a couple bucks. It was in their cheapo bin. So I finally grabbed it because I'm a big fan of Chris Hemsworth. I like the guy. It's called Black Hat. So I don't know much about it. I remember when it came out to theaters, I just missed it altogether and kind of just never went back to it. So, but yeah, I grabbed that. So I can sit down and try and watch it. This is another one that came out, I want to say it was about a year ago, and I remember seeing it, and I remember it looked really intriguing. Somebody wrote some stuff on here. I got to clean that off. But I always kind of want to check it out. I read some reviews on it that said it was pretty bad, other reviews today, but I decided to do it anyways. It's called Higher Power. It's kind of a sci-fi-like thing, where they call it a cyberpunk thriller. I love the cover. Look at that. Woo! Changing colors. So I picked it up, figured to check it out. All right. Now that is it for the Blu-rays. I'm going to show you the one DVD I picked up. Yes, one DVD I picked up. And that DVD is, it's a 4-pack. And it's got My Best Friend's a Vampire, Repossessed, Slaughter High. And the reason why I got it was Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. I'm a movie fan. I've been a movie fan for years. I always thought there was just 2 Silent Night, Deadly Nights. And then about 5-6 months ago, I was doing some research and found out there's a 3 and a 4. So I've been on the lookout for them, but I found them, but not kind of expensive. I don't want to pay that much money. So I found this 4-pack here. It's got that on there. Now, I do not own this one, and I think I have this one. I know I have this one because it's Repossessed, which is a really funny movie with Leslie Nielsen and Linda Blair. But I was stoked to get this because I wanted this one. So it is one of those things, too, where it's one of those movies where it's got, flipper discs. But whatever. I'm just glad to have it. All right. Now, the last few movies I got, this is the one I paid full price for. But ever since I heard about this movie a few years ago, I have wanted to see this. And then when Seven Entertainment announced they're putting it out, I got really excited about it. I'd actually reserved it from Amazon like 4 months before it's supposed to come out. I'd reserved it because I really wanted to get this movie. And then Amazon, this came out over 2 or 3 months ago at this point, and Amazon couldn't get it for me for some weird reason. So when I was in there, I found it, and I had to grab it, and that is Deep Blood, with done by Joe D'Amato. I heard it's a really cheesy, really out there shark movie, and apparently I was reading back here, I didn't even know this, he took some footage from Cruel Jaws to put in this movie. So I love shark movies, especially love cheesy shark movies. So there we go. I got it. I did pay quite a bit for it, but that's okay because I really wanted to get this. And other than buy it direct from Severum, which means if I'd have bought this, I'd pay like $7 or $8 in shipping. This was the best way to get it. Now, the last 2 movies I got were both steelbooks. There wasn't a lot of steelbooks there, but I did manage to find 2 steelbooks. The first one I did grab was Straight Outta Compton. Love this movie. Love the music. And so I saw this, and I was like, I just got to jump all over and grab it. I mean, it does have, unfortunately, a scratch. You can't really see what was a scratch right here. No big deal. Still really glad to have this. So I got that. And the last one I grabbed, and give you some backstory on this. So this movie, when it came out on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, and there was a steelbook, I really wanted to get it. I missed it. It was a Best Buy exclusive, and Best Buy did not get a lot of these things. Matter of fact, they got one run of it, and my Best Buy down here didn't even get it. And that was it. It went out of print. They didn't bring any more out. Like, every once in a while, if you've ever noticed, like, either sometimes all of a sudden Target will end up with a couple of Best Buy exclusive steelbooks, or Best Buy just all of a sudden they'll find some more and they'll get more and back in. In this case, this movie, it never did come back in. And on the secondary market, and I looked this up just before I started this video, I looked this up. The secondary market, the cheapest I could find this now was almost $300 for this movie. In exact condition I have it in now. The majority that were up on eBay were not even from the United States. They were region-free ones from overseas. And they were only Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray. There was no combo pack. There's no 4K in there or anything like that. At the time, when I was looking at the time on eBay, there was only 4 listings for, there was only, 3 listings. One was brand new, still factory sealed, and they wanted $370 for it. Then the 2 other ones were averaging about $200 a piece. So that was one, when I didn't get it, I looked at the secondary market for a couple years in this thing. I was always looking at it, always trying to track this movie down. It was always way too expensive. I can't pay that kind of money for it. I just can't. It's just way too expensive. Not going to do it. So when I was at Rasputin yesterday, I was looking around, and I was going through the action movies and stuff like that, and I looked up, and I couldn't believe what I saw. But it was Kong Skull Island. This has been one of my white whales since I got back into steelbooks. This was a really hard con. Now, mind you, this is a Blu-ray, a 3D Blu-ray, and a 4K all in this pack. It still has its inserts inside. You can see here it says $15.95. I actually didn't pay that. I think I paid after my discount. It's like $12 for it. This goes for a lot of money. In this exact condition, as a matter of fact, this thing, I put it in a plastic sleeve. I don't know anything. There's no marks. There's no dings. There's no nothing on this. This thing is pristine. I cannot believe I found this. This movie has been on my list as a steelbook that I wanted since it came out. And I was so bummed. It was something I've written off. I was like, I'm never going to find this because the secondary market, I'm not going to pay $200-300 for a movie. I'm just not. I don't pay that much for a Star Trek movie. I'm going to pay for anything else. So, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, all right, it is what it is. It's one of the things. I did get this movie. I've got a lenticular art covered one. It looks pretty cool. But I just wrote it off, and it was just sitting there on the shelf like this, on the top shelf. And I grabbed it so fast. I'm done. I mean, I did do some more shopping, but this is like one of my white whales. I cannot believe I found this steelbook. I can't. It is hard to find, and it's really, 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 really expensive. So to find this steelbook, I still can't believe it. Like, I was looking at it this morning before I did this video, and I was like, I can't believe I have this. The discs inside are all pristine. Everything's there. The only thing I'm bummed about is the J card is missing. That's the only thing. I like to keep all my J cards for, whatever. And the J card being that thing that usually goes over the back of the steelbook and usually covers, like, the top part a little bit. Kind of form like a J. I like to keep those things. I'm weird like that. I like to keep everything from the movie. I even keep the stickers. The sticker says on the outside, it says Target exclusive. I actually peel that off and put it inside the movie because I'm very much like, I want to remind myself where I got this, how I got this, and just keep all the stuff with it, So again, I still can't believe I found this. This has been one of my white whales. It really has, and yeah, and I just wrote it off. And if I usually go on a list with Rasputin, I usually go in with a list of movies I've been looking for, hunting for. I dropped that movie off my list a long time ago because I've gone to Rasputin multiple times over the years. It's never been there. They always have a lenticular art one, or just the standard Blu-ray or the standard DVD, but they never have that. So I now own it. I'm extremely excited, but now it makes me go, okay, I have the Godzilla one. I have the regular Godzilla one, the King Monsters Godzilla. Now I have Kong Skull Island. So now I really have to get King Kong versus Godzilla when it comes out in Steelbook, so I can have that whole set of those movies. I do like, I'm not always that way, but if I am, especially in a situation like this, I found this. So now I feel like I need to get that just because I didn't think I was ever going to do this. So, yes, you can tell I'm a little bit overly joyed about it. It's just, I can't explain it, but it's been, like I said earlier, it's been 16 months since I went to Rasputin Records. And Rasputin Records is one of my favorite places to go because they just have tens of thousands of movies, whether it be DVD, they even have VHS, they've got Blu-ray, they've got 4K, and they've also got a ton of music too. They got CDs coming out their ears, and I love going in there because that truly is a hunt. Now, when I go to Goodwill, which I've been to a long time, or my local thrift shop that's down the street from, they have movies. They have a little wall of movies and stuff like that. You go through. They're mostly DVDs. Very rarely do you find too many Blu-rays. It's mostly just the average stuff that people just went like, whatever. It's very rare when I find like a gem, like something like this. It's very rare. So to be able to go back to Rasputin and to really hunt, that's what I got to do yesterday that I haven't been able to do in a long time, is really, really a hunt. Walk into a store. There it all is. You need to find it. Either whether I'm going through their bins or I'm going across the wall, I got to hunt. And I have not got to hunt like that in a really long time. And to be honest with you, it's kind of re-energized my movie fandom. Not be able to go out for a long time, not be able to find these movies. And matter of fact, the other problem is like, not a lack of new releases coming out, and a lack of movies in general. And a lot of the movies that have been coming out recently have just been reissues that they've just upgraded or they put back out on Blu-ray, or sometimes they've upgraded to 4K. But a lot of movies, I don't want to upgrade to 4K. I have the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is fine. I don't need that movie in 4K. There's no reason for that movie in 4K, at least for me. So it was nice to be able to go back and actually do some hunting. And matter of fact, how many replacement movies here? These two are the only two movies that I already owned. And this one's just an upgrade for Steelbook because I got it really cheap. And this one. Otherwise, everything else I do not own. It was just a Black Rain, but that's VHS. So I don't own any of this stuff. So this to me I got to find a bunch of new stuff. It wasn't stuff that was just upgraded. It was new stuff that I've never had before. So it really reinvigorated me. It got me really excited about movies again because now I'm able to start to go back out again and start to find those cool things, those movies that, those hidden gems, We all know movies, like certain movies we know, like Mortal Kombat's and the King vs. Godzilla. We know they're good. They're just on theater, stuff like that. But to be able to find a gem from, especially in my era, which I was born in the 70s, but really grew up in the 80s. And every once in a while, I find a movie, a hidden gem from the 80s that just blows my socks off, and I'm like, what is this? Why didn't I see this back in the 80s? And, so being able to go back to Rasputin and really be able to dig in there and find some stuff that I've read about, or kind of like, that might be bad, or even a few of those movies I had nothing about, but I've read stuff, that sounds pretty good. It was great to go back and do that again. It was so much fun to get back into it and actually do actual hunting. And that's why I love Rasputin so much, because I can't do this. You can't go into Best Buy anymore and look through their stuff. They don't have much left. Target's the same way. It's all like on a rack. There it is. You go into the thrift shops, and a lot of these thrift shops, some of them, like the Goodwills in my area, do you realize they charge $4 for a used DVD, and they charge $5 for a used Blu-ray? Now, my one thrift shop that's just down the street, they revise their prices, and now it's $2 for any movie, whether a DVD or Blu-ray, which is great. But again, they didn't. When I was in there about a week and a half ago, they almost had nothing, like they were cleaned out. So walking in here and seeing all those movies was just an amazing feeling that really did. It was like something my soul needed, was to be able to do hunting and be able to look for movies and be able to just, what I used to do so much back in the day, you know, but the pandemic really kind of killed a lot of that. You know, there was no Black Friday last year, you know, it was just stuff that was online. That wasn't fun. I love going out on Black Friday, and I love running around and tearing through boxes and looking through stuff, you know, and trying to get that deal. I don't like to sit at home and buy them on Amazon or buy them on whatever other app had that movie on sale for. Because again, hey, I'm an instant gratification person, so I walk in and I buy this. I get to take it home and look at it right now. Whereas you order something on Amazon, you gotta wait a few days, you know, and then it's like, you moved on from it, you know. I'm instant gratification, and like yesterday was just an amazing day, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to go back again. I'm already gotten to go through some more of my movies, that some other stuff. I'm still trying to clear out some things, so I'm hoping to find some more so I can bring that back, because there was a few things I did leave behind that I was like, I want that. I didn't spend anything on. No, I take that back. I spent $2. I went over by $2 from the credit that I got, mostly because I misfigured tax in my head. But there was a few things that I had to put down I couldn't get because I didn't have any extra money to really buy anything. So I do want to bring some more movies back so I can grab those. But it really was exciting, and it was just a great day. It was so much fun to go back and do that. I spent 2.5 hours in there. And that's not because I dropped the stuff off and I came back a half an hour later when he told me how much credit I was going to get. But I spent about 2.5 hours in there, and I only hit maybe a third of the store. There was the racks in the middle of the store that I just couldn't go. I just didn't have the time to go through because they were closing at 6 and it was like 5 something. So I didn't want to be there. I couldn't really be there long because they were going to close pretty soon. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'll be going back. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This has been a long time since I've done an actual review like this, where I've had a bunch of movies to be able to share them with you and show you what I picked up. I just haven't been able to do a lot of pickup videos lately. So, especially during the pandemic, where I wasn't going to go on Amazon and buy 50 movies and show them. You know, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So, it was great to get these movies. I'm super, super, super excited. I'm going to be processing them all and cleaning them all up and doing my whole business with them. Like I have this routine I do when I get used movies. So, I wipe all the discs down. I clean all the covers off. I do this whole ritual thing with them. So, I'll be doing that next. But I just wanted to share this with you and share my enjoyment of movies, new movies. Awesome. So that is it. So leave me some comments down below. Like, subscribe, the bell. Please share this video. Thank you so much for watching. Here in California, which I live in, June 15th is the day that they lift all restrictions on the pandemic. No more mask wearing. They're lifting all the restrictions, which means hopefully I'll be able to go out and do more of this stuff now that this is we're you know, going down to the nitty gritty here. I've been vaccinated, so I'm ready to go. Let's do this. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please be safe and take care out there. Always keep hunting because you never know what you're going to find. And as always, live long and prosper. Bye.